Hello, and welcome back to ADD's Action Figure Obsession. This is going to be another unboxing video. It's a figure that I've had for a little while, but I haven't gotten around to opening yet, and I thought today would be a good day to do that, since I haven't gotten anything new to unbox since day before yesterday, I guess, when I got the Krusty the Clown that you see there to the right. Now what I'm doing here is something I see all the really good action figure reviewers doing, which is, kind of populating the edges of the screen to give you something to look at. So that's really exciting. On the left there, we have the two current best Marvel Legends, Black Widow and Captain America, the Marvel Legends Series 1 20th Anniversary Captain America, and the 60th Avengers 60th Anniversary Black Widow. Which is a really super articulated figure. She is really great. I was very, very happy to find 5 of her in the wild when I was out hunting with my machete and my jodhpurs. And customized a few of these into something else, into a couple of Baroness figures for my G.I. Joe Classified collection. And I think I have 3 still basically in the Black Widow configuration, because she came with 3 different heads, so you can make 3 different looks for her, one of which is vaguely Scarlett Johansson looking. This one is kind of, I guess it's the most modern looking head sculpt, and then the other one is kind of a 1960s John Romita Sr. look. So the reason I chose this Silver Age Batman and Ace the Bat-Hound from McFarlane Toys for today's unboxing is because yesterday we were talking about all the tools of the trade that you need when you're an action figure customizer and kit basher. And we talked about, X-Acto knives, and we talked about, what else did we talk about? Oh yeah, super glue, and what else we got here? Oh yeah, the sticky tack. What else? There was something else here. Paint pens. Yeah, there's some paint pens. One of them fell on the floor. And these Sharpie ones aren't really paint pens, I don't think. I do actually have real paint pens that have real acrylic paint in them. I'm assuming, like this sort of thing, this black one here from Deco Color. I'm assuming the acrylic paint in that lasts longer than a Sharpie will. But for minor touch-ups, I have a gold, a bronze, and a silver Sharpie. And just for minor touch-ups on something that, it doesn't need to be restored, the Sharpie is enough. Don't ever use a black Sharpie on your figures, though, just because you think it's an easy way to turn it black, because black Sharpie ink turns purple after 2 or 3 years, and it really looks crappy. So that's a hint for free from me to you. And hey, in gratitude for that helpful hint not to use Sharpies on your action figures, could you do me a favor? And this is now my, I think, 6th action figure video, or 5th or 6th, and I've never asked this before, but I see now that we're up to 8 subscribers for ADD's Action Figure Obsession. So if you could like the video, leave a comment on the video, and even better, subscribe to my channel, I would be very grateful. That would be wonderful, as we are on the road now to 10 subscribers. We only need 2 more to go, and then we're going to hit that milestone of 10 subscribers, and I think YouTube will send me like a bag of Famous Amos cookies or something when I hit that, 10 subscriber mark. Anyway, oh, and if you could share the video, if you have toy-loving friends, action figure-loving friends, or you just want to annoy someone who's not into toys and action figures, send them a link to this video and let them check it out. Share it on your social media. Look, we are, as I say, on the road to 10 subscribers, and we only need 2 more. And, theoretically, that could happen before the end of this video if you share it now and like and comment and subscribe. All right, I'll probably never bring that up again. Anyway, so here we have Silver Age Ace, the Bat-Hound, and Batman. And I read a lot of Silver Age Batman comics in a book that came out in the 1970s called Batman from the 30s to the 70s. It was a huge hardcover, beautiful book. They did, I think, 4 of those. There was Superman from the 30s to the 70s, Wonder Woman from the 30s to the 70s, and Shazam from the 30s to the 70s, which annoyed me because Shazam was the old wizard. The actual superhero in the Shazam comics was Captain Marvel, and they were originally called Captain Marvel comics. But of course, even though they came 40 years before Marvel Comics started calling themselves Marvel Comics, was it 40 years? Oh, 30 years. They didn't want to, step on Marvel's toes when they brought Shazam back in the 70s. So instead of calling the comic book Captain Marvel, the comic book was called Shazam. But then the character was still called Captain Marvel up until I think about 10 or 12 years ago when they killed off the old wizard Shazam and then finally made Captain Marvel Shazam. And now nobody refers to him as Captain Marvel but me, but it's his damn name, so I still think of him as Captain Marvel. So the reason why, just to circle back around, because I do that a lot, the reason why I thought about this one for a review, I hadn't opened him because it's another Batman in my collection, and I'm curious about the dog, although he doesn't look articulated. But I mentioned the snippers, snip, 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 in my most recent video before this one, and I mentioned how McFarlane Toys, you need to have these snippers. You see the tight little, snipping area, and I never understood why you needed these until I started buying a lot of McFarlane and NECA figures, and I think that the same thing happens. Can you see me unboxing? I'm unboxing stuff. I think that they do this the same way with a lot of anime and manga-based action figures, which is that they, it's bad enough that you have to buy deadly implements of sharpness to get into these things. Well, I still can't get into it. There's another one. Good God. Come on. There we go. It's bad enough that it's difficult to get these things open. There he is, the Silver Age Batman from McFarlane Toys. It's bad enough that it's hard to get them open, but then you got to get all those twist ties off them, as you can see. Not really twist ties. They're like plastic. I don't know how they do it, but it's a real task to get them all undone. All McFarlane figures. Oh, I forgot to show you my package, and I already threw it in the recycling. Here's the inner piece of cardboard. Most, if not all, McFarlane DC Multiverse figures come with a collector card. Some people call it a trading card, but that's not what it is, because trading cards have a number on them. These are unnumbered. And now that I'm looking at this, well, maybe it's okay. It slipped a little, but I think it's still minty fresh. Apparently this plastic covering was not on as tight as it usually is. That's going in the recycling. And so if you want to see it up close, wonder if I can make it there. So that is a look at a Silver Age Detective Comics cover featuring Batman and Robin the Boy Wonder and Ace the Bat-Hound. Oh, now interestingly, I see that position Ace the Bat-Hound is in on that comic book cover. And I think it's possible that that's the same position that the dog will be permanently frozen in when we get him out of the package. I will say I don't really have much use for these McFarlane collector cards, although I do save them. I've got a box of them that maybe, I'll show you sometime. There's some that I like the artwork on them or the way the card is put together, so I'm, glad I saved them. This one doesn't really do it for me. I mean, it's a typical Silver Age Batman cover from probably 1958 to 61 and somewhere in there. Wonder if it says when that was, that comic. Yeah, it says 1950s, so that was my guess. Anyway, put the card aside. All the McFarlane figures, or most of the McFarlane figures, also come with one of these very cheap and not always useful stands. And the DC ones, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it says DC. That's kind of embossed or painted or tampoed on there somehow. And then it has the little foot peg. And 9 times out of 10 with the McFarlane toys, I have to heat up the foot for about 30 seconds with my, just threw some more stuff in the recycling. Have to heat up the foot peg on the figure because the peg is usually a little bigger than the peg hole at the bottom of the foot. And that's where one of my greatest tools comes in, is this Wagner, see, Wagner, I know it's Wagner, heat gun, which I use for heating up my figures. Some companies, their figures are almost always really stiff, taking them out of the package. And some of them need to be heated up. And some people swear by just putting them in the bowl of hot water, but I don't see the point for that. If all I need to do is expand the peg hole a little bit to get it onto a stand like this. And most of my figures I don't use stands for, but McFarlane toys I need to, because they don't stand up very well due to their very bad ankle articulation. But anyway, the heat gun here has two settings. That's low, and that's high. And I can tell you from personal experience that the tip right here, boy, does that get hot, and it stays hot. One time when I was first using the heat gun to do stuff with my action figures, I had the heat gun here cooling off and something over here, and I reached over, and the bottom of my forearm hit this, and boy, that was not pleasant. And then took about a month to heal. That was nasty. So anyway, so we got our collector card, we got our cheap little stand, which I will probably use because none of these figures really stand up very well. And here he is, Silver Age Batman and Ace the Bat-Hound. What makes him Silver Age? The Silver Age of comics came in the, I think, around the early 50s to early 60s. Generally the start of the DC Silver Age, anyway. Marvel Silver Age, I think, is dated a little later with the start of the Fantastic Four. But DC had the post-World War II era Silver Age in the 50s, and you can see by the bat emblem on his chest, that is very distinctive and very much a... how close can I get that to the... There we go. See? Nothing like the modern Batman emblem or even the one from the 70s or the 80s. It's very distinctive and definitely says, I'm from the 50s, as does the blue on his nose and the black shadow that the top of his head is encased in. So definitely a 1950s look for Batman. Now, I'm going to have to... Apologies for the cinematography here. This isn't probably going to look great, but I do have the camera locked down, as we say in Hollywood. Snipping these stupid plastic ties. So there's one. The good thing about these is when you do one, the other side of it lets go. So really, each time I snip, I'm snipping away two of them, in a way, because it's two halves of one. Let's see, where else do we have them? Looks like the hips. Snip. And there's that. Oh, another one, hips and elbows. That seems really excessive, Todd McFarlane. But okay, this one is by the wrist, by his left wrist. Someday I'm going to do this and cut the tip of my finger off, I have a feeling. Hopefully that day will not be today, because then this video will be rated V for violence. Not because of my injury, but because of what I'll be talking about doing to Todd McFarlane, who is solely to blame for all these stupid plastic ties and all of the snipping that is required as a result. Well, I hope I have a lot of storage space on my phone today, because this is taking much longer than usual, and is probably also really boring. Any more? Let's see. You know, I might be all of them. Let me see if he'll come out. You want to come out, Batman? Nope, still got one. One snip unsnipped. All right. Let's see if we can do it the lazy way. Come on. Apologies for how boring this is. There we go. All right, Batman is free. So now I have my my pile of twist ties going in the recycling. And Batman is free. And there he is. Out of his plastic prison, as we call it. Let's see if he'll just stand up like a normal human being. Never forget, Batman is just a normal human being. He doesn't have any superpowers, usually. sometimes, in certain circumstances, but having trouble figuring out this left foot. Something isn't quite right. All right, so the joint goes there, and then the foot goes there. Let's try that. All right. Yeah, these things aren't as much fun when you first take them out of the box. There's a lot of figuring out, especially with McFarlane, there's a lot of figuring out the weirdnesses of them so that you can actually make them work. Will he stand up? Get a little ankle pivot going there. Wow, this left foot really does not want to cooperate. Come on. And I see why. All right, there we go. So there he is. There's the Silver Age Batman. The pose is nothing to write home about, but there he is. All right, so he comes with a few extras, which are all needlessly encased in cellophane tape. So he comes with a very Silver Agey looking, wow, so much tape. So much tape! My God! Comes with a, where's the lens? Okay. There we go. Comes with a very Silver Age looking blue Batarang. And then some hands, like a clutching, grasping hand. And another clutching, grasping hand. So much clutching, so much grasping. And then he has two fists right out of the box. Those are already on his hands there, or the ends of his wrists, as you can see. And then a couple of what we call C grip hands, because the hand is like in the shape of a C. And one of these, I'm guessing, would hold the Batarang. So there's that. And now the final snipping. Oh, I'm going to snip Batman's dog. That sounds very veterinary-like, doesn't it? Let's see. Is he out? All right, he's out already. And that is definitely... Let me take this and put it in the recycling. So, take a good look at the dog. Ace the Bat-Hound. Ace the Bat-Hound. Oh, I don't know if you can see it in this lighting. Let's see if I can get a little better here. But Ace is wearing a mask, so no one will know his true identity as Bruce Wayne's dog. And I don't know if Bruce Wayne's dog has a different name than Ace the Bat-Hound. That would only make sense, right? But anyway, so there's Batman and Ace the Bat-Hound. I hope they do a 1950s Robin that would also look good with this. That would be good. And I think they may have already done a 1950s style Joker. I'm not 100% sure on that. I have a few Jokers, but I don't think any of them really evoke his look from the 1950s. So, not sure how much time we have left on the clock here, because for a change, it's not telling me if my time is running out. But this is the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Silver Age Batman. And I like the look of him. I dig the blue and gray Batman is kind of my Batman. I don't know if it's because of, that was the colors of Adam West in the Batman TV show that debuted the same year I was born. But I have always liked the blue and the gray a little bit better than the black and the gray, or the blue and the black, or however else, what other combinations they've done it in. These legs are really wonky, even for McFarlane. I'm really not sure why. The legs and the feet are a little strange on this. Not entirely pleased with it, but of course the stand will, solve most of those issues once I stick them on that. And, boy, oh boy. Here we go. So, he has a posable cape. The cape is a very heavy, like Barbie, as Anthony's Customs has referred to this as being like Barbie clothes type material, and I think in this case that definitely describes it. But the wire along the edges of it does allow you to do some posing, like he's standing in the wind with Ace the Bat-Hound and Captain America and the Black Widow lovingly looking on and admiring the fact that Batman is an inch taller than they are. The McFarlane DC Multiverse figures are a 7-inch scale, although they vary wildly. There's some very short Batmen and some very tall Batmen, and it really does vary from figure to figure. But this one seems about average height for a Batman. I do like. Let me get my pointer out. I do like the sort of cell shading or comic book shading effect of the blue, the reflective blue on his trunks. I think that looks pretty good. I really like the paint job on the head, and I'm going to pull out of the bipod for a minute and show you, or let's see if we can zoom in on that. Look at that shading on the top of his forehead there with the those sharp lines of, I like that. That looks really good, the way it blends into the blue. And I think this is one of the better McFarlane Batman head sculpts. Pretty good. The chest insignia is nice and sharp. No blotchiness, no missing paint. It might have been nicer if it was part of the sculpt, if it was molded and then painted, but you know, I think the Batman costume of that era was just gray, you know, whatever came before spandex, some sort of gray material, and probably would have had just that sort of sewn on or painted on in some way. So that looks pretty legit to me. There's not too much of a discrepancy between the blue plastic of the head and the cowl going into the blue of the sort of satiny Barbie material cape. So that's not bad. Overall, I'm not unhappy with this Batman. And, you know, the snipping took a while, which was really the reason why I wanted to show you this. I wanted you to see what all that snipping is about. You know, on a day, if you buy 5 or 6 McFarlane figures, you're going to spend a good hour getting them out of the packaging because all the snipping is just absolutely ridiculous. But I also like having another animal in my collection. Unlike Hasbro, this doesn't have any articulation, but he is in a good doggy pose, especially the back legs. I kind of like that. I love the expression and the cowl on his face. I think that's absolutely brilliant and was very well executed. So overall, you know, I think this was $22 at GameStop when I picked it up. Overall, not a bad figure. It looks good. It's going to look good on the shelf with the rest of my Batman and Justice League figures, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not happy with all the snipping. I got to be honest with you. I'm sniping at the snipping, but it's very annoying. So anyway, that'll do it for this unboxing video. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you can, if it's not too much trouble, please like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe share the video with anybody you know who you think might enjoy it. And we'll catch you next time on ADD's Action Figure Obsession. Thanks for watching.